did y'all miss us? Because we show miss you. Look, watch, like, and subscribe to our channel at Sister Sis 1988, as well as follow us on all our social media platforms at Sister Sis 1988. Today we have a fantastic show with a fantastic guest, Mr. Wayne Faulkner. We're going to talk about his success and his book that he wrote. I'm going to go ahead and hand the mic over to him and let him introduce himself. How you doing, Mr. Faulkner?
I'm doing wonderful, and it's good to be here.
Good. Thank you for coming. Go ahead and tell the audience a little bit about yourself, and then we'll jump into these questions that we have for you.
Okay, I reside in the wonderful state of Tennessee, and I've written 3 books, 2 published, and 1 I'm holding because I'm searching and interviewing new publishers for the 3rd book, and I'm halfway done with the 4th book.
Oh.
So I am a writer, an author, yes, for sure, a certified life, career, and relationship coach, and content maker. And I would like having discussions like we're going to have today, and I think this will be very interesting for your listeners.
Great, great. Okay, well, let's go ahead and dive in. First question. As an author, you have published 3 books, as you said. Let's talk about your book, Setback or Stepping Stone. It's your choice. Which one you want to tell us about?
Yeah, that's my 2nd book. Yes, that book is written for anybody who has experienced a setback, whether it's a past or present, or someone who has dealt with a life event of any kind. This book, as well as most of my books, they offer my readers 4 particular things: hope, awareness, inspiration, and motivation.
Okay, good, okay. So elaborate on what you mean in the subtitle of your book, "With all my might, it shall be done."
Okay, let me just read that directly from the book because it's insightful and we need to give it all that it has. It is a single-minded thought and unwavering decision-making idea, implementing the highest degree of effort and commitment humanly possible, bringing to bear every fiber of your being. And the question that we should ask ourselves is, what task have we attempted with all of our might? Usually what happens is, with most people, myself included in the past for sure, we may have sought out to accomplish something and it may not have turned out exactly like we thought it would have. And we may have been somewhat discouraged and somewhat disappointed. And therefore, we find a trusted friend or associate to have some conversations about it. And in that conversation, the other party would usually say, well, you did great. And you did your best. Well, let's explore that. When you say they did their best, is it possible that you may have just given that person a very comfortable place to quit?
Okay.
Because that's an acceptable cliche the world over. You did your best. Give them a break. Leave them alone. But the question needs to be asked, did you attempt the task or the goal with all of your might?
Mm-hmm.
No, I did not. I have to be honest.
Well, really, all of us really need to be honest. But I get what you're saying. It can't be like, look, you did what you could, don't leave it alone. That's kind of what you're saying, right? Like, leave it alone.
Yes,
You did your
yes.
best. Okay. Move it along. Okay, we get it. So you talked about what you want the readers to get from the book, but what is your target audience for this book? Who's your target audience for this book?
My target audience is anyone, be it male or female, like any socioeconomic group or demographic. Those individuals who have faced challenges, are facing challenges. And we all do face challenges. There's no way about it. I always say that life is, success with some obstacles interwoven in there. Yeah, you're going to have some setbacks and some challenges, and that's okay because that's how we grow and learn. We were perfect. We couldn't live here on earth because it would be so annoying because everywhere we go, everybody would be annoyed with us because we are perfect and they are not. And the surroundings would annoy us because nothing is perfect. So things are as they should be.
Okay. So for the chapter everyday application, it mentions developing a personal mantra. Would you provide an example of that?
Yeah, if you were to say, if you think about any community or society as a whole, if we were to develop a mantra with all of my might, it would go something like this. And you will see improvement on a grand scale. Fathers, would you become better fathers? Yes, I will, with all my might. Mothers, will you become better mothers? Yes, I will, with all my might. So if we could get, people in general to take on that type of mindset, our society would change greatly because everything would take on such a positive outlook, it would be almost miraculous.
Right. You're right. Okay. So in your book, it mentions to ponder how we might have gotten our beliefs. Give us your insight about that.
Oh, that's very interesting because that's usually something that we really give no thought of at all. And what happens is when we are born, all of us, we're born as a blank slate. If you were to go down to any local store that sells CDs and buy a blank CD, there's nothing on it until you imprint or record something on that CD. And that's the way we are. When we are born, we're a complete blank slate. So our environment, family, friends, associates, neighbors, co-workers, schoolmates on all levels, they imprint and leave things in our mind and subconsciousness that we didn't give them permission to do it. They just did it. And before long, we start taking on the attributes, the thinking, the conversations, the ideas that are not of our own. It's something that somebody else implanted into our mind. And we're carrying on these thoughts and activities says, what? I started thinking like this. Okay, it came from somebody you talked to 2 months ago. Imprinted that within your subconscious mind, and there you go. You're gonna take off with that.
So,
be it right or wrong, it will become a part of your personality.
So what was something that was imprinted on you growing up that as an adult you felt like you had to change? Or you thought about it like, that's not my true feeling. I kind of feel a different way about it as a grown man.
Yeah, I found out that I had to unlearn a lot of things. I grew up, I was raised by my grandparents, and I always say they were like angels on earth to me. They took such incredibly good care of me as a little grandkid growing up in their home. But it's something that my granddad used to say as I became an adult and started doing my reading and research and on a deeper level of thinking and consciousness. His statement was, money does not grow on trees. And being a little kid, I didn't know. I took Granddad's word for that. I never saw any on trees, so Granddad had to be right and correct with his statement. However, that creates a scarcity mentality within you if you truly believe that.
Okay.
Okay, so this question I really can't wait to hear the answer. You have a chapter titled 20 Million Millionaires. Are you suggesting to your readers that it's possible to become a millionaire, and if so, how?
Yes, that's a very interesting topic to discuss for sure, because I've never met a person, I don't think I have, that did not want to become a millionaire. and true enough, most of them had no idea how to go about doing it. That's what led me to write that chapter. In fact, when I was doing my research to write that chapter, I discovered that in the year of 2022, we actually had 20 recorded millionaires as of that year. 20 million millionaires in the USA. So now what's so unique and absolutely amazing is we are all taught how to be millionaires in elementary school.
How's that?
Inform me on that one, sir.
Well, let me say this before I get to that. My background is I worked 17 years in corporate America as a manager. And I worked 22 years in the field of education. So I know from which I speak.
Okay.
In 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade, all of us are taught math facts. And there are 4 math facts: addition, subtraction, division, and multiplication. Only one of those math facts, unknowing to the teachers, basically, and to the students for sure, they had no idea that one of those has the ability to make you a millionaire. Now, in third grade, my grandmother, when I came home from school, there was one thing I had to do. After I finished my chores in the evening, do my homework, I had to take out the multiplication chart. This is every day. She said, "You're going to be faster than the multiplication chart." I had no idea what grandmother was doing for me. It was so amazing. Because if you took a kid and says, "Okay, if you come by my house and do some chores, rake the leaves, or help me wash the car, I'll pay you." And you say, "Okay, I'll pay you $1 each time you come." And the next time they come, he says, "Okay, I'll pay you another $1. So what do you have now?" "I got $1 the first time, I'm back the second time, so I add that up, I got $2. Okay. See, addition, you can accumulate, but see, the amazing thing that most people do not understand is, as humans, we do not have a long enough life expectancy to get wealthy through addition. We can save, but it won't make us wealthy. Now, when we start subtracting, I take that same kid and say, "Okay, how much money have you made from doing chores for me now?" "I'm up to $3. "Okay, give me 2 of them back." Well, see, I'm taking him back to where he started from with the first $1. So he's not going forward. He's not progressing toward his goal of, gaining wealth. So division. Now, division covers taxes, expenses of all kinds. Your money is divided up in so many ways, you're not making any progress. So if that kid gets up to $5 in earnings from doing chores for me, I said, "How many friends do you have?" He said, "I got 4 friends. "Okay, let's give 4 of your friends $1 each." Well, he's back to the first $1 again. So it's only until we get to multiplication. When he gets up to, let's say, $2, I says, "Okay, starting today, I'm going to pay you $2, but the next time you come, I'm going to give you 2 times $2. So that's 4. And the next time you come, I'm going to give you 2 times 4. That's 8. You see how exponentially his money is growing. So it's only through the law of multiplication that you can create wealth. And I explain that quite clearly in that chapter by using the principle of investing. When you invest, for an example, let's say you take any particular stock and you buy 100 shares at $5. Okay, that's $500. And that stock, 1 share each goes up to $20. What do you have now? You got $2,000. You see how exponentially your money has multiplied from $500 to $2,000. So through the law of multiplication, can we all create wealth? That's the only way. You got to find some means of multiplying your money. Adding, subtraction, division will not get it. You got to multiply.
Okay, good explanation. Like that. Are these the 4-step concepts for success?
Yes, and those 4 steps are a concept that I came up with called think, create, meditate, and journal. Those 4 steps will make anyone a complete success. When you learn, see, let me tell you something about thinking that's really, really unique. We all think. The hardest thing we have to do is try not to think. We're thinking when we don't want to think.
Right.
Yeah, and here's a little experiment to prove that out. All right, let's try to not think of a pink elephant. What's the first thing come to mind? A pink elephant. Yeah, so the amazing thing about it is research has shown that we think 6.5 thoughts per minute. Now there are 24 hours in our day, and we sleep for 8. We got 16 hours left. Over those 16 hours, we have 6,240 thoughts. Now, the other thing that's so incredibly strange is 50 to 70% of those thoughts are negative. Yes. So at the 50% rate, we're talking about 3,120 thoughts that are negative throughout all 24-hour day. And on the other hand, at the 7% rate of negativity, we're talking about over 4,000 thoughts. So we're actually having either 4 to 1, 4 negative thoughts to 1 positive thought. So that's why we have to learn to think. In fact, my first book that I wrote is entitled How to Think and Create Success. And I'm talking in that book and teaching my readers how to learn how to think, because that's where it all starts, and that's where the rubber meets the road.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing how to think to develop and manifest optimum success.
Okay. The concept of think, create, meditate, and journal, it is unique. But what would be the benefit once a person has those 4 concepts? What's the benefit of those?
Okay, when you know how to think, you're going to create, because thinkers are creators and creators are thinkers. But when you think about it, when you look in the Bible, in the first chapter in Genesis, the first thing that God wanted us to know about him was what? He's a creator. He created the heavens and the earth. It's almost like he said, if you don't understand nothing past this point, I want you to know this forevermore. You are what I am. You are a creator. You are a thinker. To think is to create. Whatever you think about, you will manifest at some point in your life. It's not going to be instant, but at some point in the future, it will manifest. It will come to be. If you constantly focus and concentrate on it, yes, you're thinking and creating. And meditation, that is my superpower. When you meditate, that's when you are able to communicate and connect to the infinite source, which is God. And journaling is when you record your life events, your challenges, your success stories. It's like you're talking to a dear friend, but you put it on paper. So that's where you can get all of your thoughts that are internalized inside of you out. Put it on paper. You may not have anybody to talk to, but you can put it on paper. And also, all of the wonderful things that you write in your journal, I suggest that everybody journal, right, every day, because that's a legacy that you can leave behind. It could be an heirloom for your heirs. They could read incredible wisdom and ideas that you gained along your life journey that they can use right away from reading that journal.
So how many journals do you have?
I have one. Very good one.
Just one?
Yes.
Just one?
Yeah. And you know, I write so much on my computer and in other places and notepads and stuff, but I transitioned over to the journal because that's what I want everything kept, you know, in catalog right there in one unique place.
Okay. Really, honestly, that's all the questions that I have. So,
until next time,
there's strength in sisterhood
and support in sisterhood.
Bye.
Bye.